do you want to switch math curriculums? Today, I'm going to share with you guys how we do a lesson using Math 3 from The Good and the Beautiful. With you guys, our overall thoughts on the curriculum, just our honest thoughts in review. Since we've been using it since September, I feel like I can give you a solid review and our thoughts, what we like, what we maybe don't like as much. And Nicholas will join me, which is my third grader. He'll let you know what he likes about it, maybe things that he doesn't like. I haven't asked him yet. And I'll also be letting you know how long it takes us to do a lesson. So if you are interested to see how we do a lesson and our honest thoughts, just keep on watching.
This is as good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many.
When you purchase the Math 3 from Simply Good and Beautiful Math 3, when you purchase the whole set, you get this math box with manipulatives, and then you get the course book that has 120 lessons divided into 4 units. And yeah, so this is the course book and how it looks like. It's bound a bit different. Honestly, mine is already falling apart. So I'm not really sure about this binding, but anyways, mine has. I don't know. Let me know if you have used the math, curriculum and this has happened to you. Math 2, that did not happen to me, and I think it's bound the same way. Anyways, this is what it comes with, the course book. It comes with a bunch of manipulatives and it'll tell you when to use it. I'm sure you've seen different flip throughs, and it comes with different types of manipulatives, and the math box and curriculum. I'll put the price here, but I feel like it's quite affordable for what you get, especially it's a sturdy math box. Everything's in here. It's compact, it's very easy to use, so I really like it. The math curriculum itself, so far we have been really enjoying it. It always starts off with some review and then sometimes some mental math. You don't have to do these reviews, but we always do the review. It has the lesson, okay? And then it has always a lesson practice. So when we do our lesson, there always is a lesson practice that goes along with it. And then there is review and activities that are review of past concepts that a child should already have done a lesson on, and they're reviewing it. So it does have very much that spiral approach when it comes to math. This is not a flip through by any means, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how it looks like so you can kind of take a look. The lessons, I would say the lesson and lesson practice usually takes us about 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes it can take a little bit longer, but usually around 15 to 20 minutes. We do the lesson. Nicholas does the lesson practice. Sometimes I will be with him doing the lesson practice. Sometimes I won't. And then the review and activities Nicholas can do on his own, and usually it'll take around 15 to 20 minutes, give or take. Okay, so usually around 40 minutes to complete a lesson. I think that's a fair estimate, which is a huge jump from Math 2. And it's funny because I bought a couple of things to supplement Math 3 with, just because I was thinking that with Math 2, Nicholas was finished everything within 10 to 15 minutes max. There is quite of a jump when it comes to the time it takes to do the lessons, at least for us. So my first day doing this, it took us like about an hour to do it, just because we weren't used to, the lesson practice, and then the reviews and activities. Like, we weren't used to it. Now that we are, I would say 40 minutes is the sweet spot. With the math lessons, I feel like there is a type of story to it. So that's something to be aware of if you are looking into this math. It's not just like, you teaching the concept. It's really putting in like real life scenarios and us doing the math. I really like that though. There is a couple of games that you play. Like, see, we didn't play this game. I X'd it out. Guys, let's talk about something that I do not like doing just in general. It has nothing to do with the curriculum. It has to do with me personally. I do not like playing games. Number one thing that I do not like is playing games. I just do not like board games. I don't like games. My son loves games. This is a capacity one. And because we do not, there's a dice in here. But because we are Canadian, we do not use gallons, we don't use quarts, we don't use pints, so we don't play that game. That's why I crossed it out. I try to play the games here because my son loves the games. I feel like it's such a good way for your child to learn is through games. So if your kid loves games, they're gonna like this because there is quite a bit of games that we play throughout. There's like mazes, multiplication mazes, which is so much fun. Like there is like real life situations that they put into math, which I really, really like because sometimes you want to connect. You're learning this math concept. You want to connect it to the real world. And I feel like they do this in a really good way with at least Math 3. Here is another game. See, so there is a lot of games. Nicholas loves it. He loves the games, guys. And there are these manipulatives over here. But in the back of the book, there are some like cutouts, like cardstock kind of manipulatives that you can take out, and it's only for that lesson, or if you want to keep it and just review stuff, you can. But as you can see, I already took out some of them. And as we go to the lesson, it'll tell you, go to the back and, you know, take out these manipulatives because there are some things that you do use, which is not overwhelmingly like a lot. It's just perfect. So here is a unit assessment. As you can see, I really like the way they do the unit assessments because it allows me as a teacher to know, you know, a parent and teacher to know, like, what does my son need to work on? What concepts is he grasping? What concepts does he need work on? So I really like that. It explains to you what to do. And usually what the child has to do is they do the top part to the first day. And if they have any mistakes, they'll do the bottom section. Okay, so I really like that. The assessment, they're much longer than the Math 2. Let me get the Math 2 so you can kind of just like, I want to compare like a lesson just so you can kind of see side by side how it jumps from, you know, Math 2 being so simple to Math 3 being a little bit more. Okay, this is Math 2, okay? This is, we did Math 2. So this is a lesson in Math 2, okay? So you'll see here that it has the lesson and then it has the review, okay? Usually it would take Nicholas around 10 to 15 minutes. And look, there's a unit assessment here. Let's see how many pages this unit assessment is. The unit assessments used to be, I think it's still a bit lengthy. Yeah, it's still lengthy. So you still have quite a bit when it comes to unit assessments, but the lessons themselves are shorter and there doesn't have that extra lesson practice. And so this is one of the lessons. See, lesson, there's a game here. So there's still games in Math 2. And there's a review activities, right? Here, as you can see, this is the lesson. There's the review, the lesson, and then there's like a review of activities, and then the lesson practice was just this right over here. It was a game. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little bit more lengthy because you have that lesson practice portion, but I don't feel like it's overwhelming. I don't feel like Nicholas doesn't like math because it's a little bit like double the time or more. Obviously, you can cross out some stuff if you feel like your child does not need any review with the activities. That's up to you. So let me go more towards maybe another lesson. So here we're talking about mixed numbers. We had the lesson. This was actually a very short lesson and review of activities. But as you can see, there is quite a bit of review and practice when it comes to the good and the beautiful games. It's very colorful, engaging. If you are looking for that kind of like pops of color, something that your child, I think my son looks forward to doing math. He really likes it. He enjoys it. So it's up to you. Maybe you don't want color in a curriculum. That's, you know, totally fine. That doesn't mean that it's, you know, a wrong or right way of doing it. You just got to know your child. What do they call those types of activities that I don't like? Is it riddles? I can't put my finger on it, like what it's called. I always get my husband to do certain stuff with him when it has to do with logic. That's it. I do not like logic, guys. I despise logic. Let me go to the lesson that we're going to be doing today. Okay, we're doing this in multiplication, 2-digit by 1-digit numbers with regrouping. Yay. So we're going to be doing that today. So lesson 72. So you'll see here, there is review. So place value. You can add, subtract 10 from any number by changing the digit in the tens place. Say the answers out loud. So there's some review, there's some skip counting because we're doing multiplication. And then over here, we have the actual lesson. Oh, this is a long one. So there's an optional video lesson. So if your child needs a little bit more review, you can go on the Good and the Beautiful website, Math 3, and there is actual review. We've done this before in a previous lesson. We didn't need it though. But if they do need it, look, there's that as well. And over here is the lesson practice. It seems like a little game as well. So with multiplication and what we were learning on the lesson. And then there is review of activities. So as you can see, this is American money. Mama here is not American. Honestly, I don't even know what this is. Is that like 25 cents, 10 cents, 5 cents, 1 cent? Yeah, they look a little bit, right? Yeah. Anyways. This is not our currency. That's totally fine. We still can do this. We're not going to do this part right here, but he can do all the other stuff. So that is how a lesson is looking. But as you can see, the next lesson for the following day, we are doing multiplication story problems. So this is how the lesson is looking like. You have the lesson practice, which is nice because, you know, the child can practice what they were learning with me one-on-one, right? When we were doing the lesson. And then there's review of activities, and you'll see just one page. Usually review of activities is 1 page, sometimes 2, but usually it's 1. And the lesson with the lesson practice is usually like 2 pages. See, and then you have review of activities. Multiplication money. So you see we're going into multiplication. I think they're going to get into division as well, more towards the end. But you can see here, that's kind of how it is looking like. We've been liking it, guys. I've been liking it. I think the only thing that I don't like is just me. Personally, I don't like games. And in the old edition, there was so many games. Like Math 1, when we did Math Level 1 from the Good and the Beautiful, I was ready to switch curriculums because I am not a manipulatives kind of person. Too much manipulatives is not for me. It gets me overwhelmed. I really don't like that much games. Like this is just a right amount of games. But even Nicholas with Math 1, when we did like the old edition, he was not having it. I was like ready to change. But then Math 2 came out with the new edition and I was like, okay, yeah, this works for us. It's not too crazy. I really do like how they incorporate real life and they incorporate culture and sometimes like recipes. Like, guys, I really, really like it. But you could see that it is colorful. Maybe you're not looking for something so colorful. You have to be honest with yourself. Just because something looks beautiful, sometimes it's not right for you and your child, and that's totally okay. But look, this is maybe it might be distracting for your child too, right? Just because maybe like a sensory overload for them. Because you can see it's very colorful. For my son, no, this is perfect for him. Like he really likes it. There is a bit of reading involved as well, right? Because you're teaching the lesson and it sometimes tells it through a story form, but not overwhelmingly too much, just like the old edition. Like old edition, it didn't stop. It just kept on going and going. And that was Math 1. We were in level 1. I like that it includes degrees and Fahrenheit just because we do degrees Celsius here and degrees Fahrenheit is American. And I can appreciate that it does include, you know, degrees Celsius, kilometers, meters, that kind of stuff. It includes it in here. Because I think that in the States, you guys do miles, right? Here in Canada, we do kilometers. Some people ask me if I supplement with this. I do not supplement at all with this. The only thing that I have for Nicholas that I bought, if you watched my back to school haul, is I have this multiplication, pull the tabs just to kind of review. And then I use Creative Fabrica, their Teachers Club card, which is like $2.99 for the year. I use that to get some like multiplication stuff. I use it for other stuff as well, but I've been using that. And here is his like multiplication tables. It's like a dry erase. And then he goes through them. Sometimes I'll tell him, okay, you know, I think you should practice your 7 times tables. Can you go do it? And then just do it a couple of times and practice. And this has just been kind of like his practice that he has been doing. The Good and the Beautiful does have their musical multiplication. I can't give you a review on that. I have it. I've never done it before. And then they also have you can purchase their answer key, which I do have. So I definitely take advantage of this one. I bought it. I just don't like going online, but I think you can get it as a free PDF. Okay, let's show you how we do a lesson. You can add or subtract 10 from any number by changing the digit in the tens place. Okay, say the answer aloud. So what's 387 plus 10?
387
plus 10. Can I use that one?
Oh, plus 10 equals 397.
Good. What's 142 plus 10?
152.
Yeah. What's 264 minus 10?
The sun on my skin.
So what is 4 times 6?
4 times 6. 6 equals 24.
Yeah. So now look at the chart for the number 24. See? The 2's are in the tens place. The 4, right, is in the ones place. So you carry the 2 tens to the tens column. So we carry it over, okay? And write the 4 ones in the ones place of the answer. So here, the 4 came over here. We carry over the 2. And then what you're going to do is you're going to multiply 4 times 1 is what?
4 times 1 is 4.
Right. And if you add 2 to it, because you have to add now 2 to it. 4 plus 2?
Plus 2.
Plus, just plus.
Plus 2
Yeah.
equals 6.
6, okay?
Beginning to thought from where
Now I'm going to go through the steps again in the problem. And as I read the problem, you write what should be written.
I think I got it.
You got it? Do you want to go over the problem? Like, you want me to read the steps, or do you want to just do it? You could just do it? Okay, let's do it.
today and not tomorrow. There's no time to buy.
Okay, so Nicholas is just completing the problems right now. I didn't really have to go over the steps with him again, just because he's like, I kind of already get it. We don't have to go step by step. Just let me do the problems, and then you correct it afterwards. And I'm okay with that. So we didn't have to do the lesson, like line per line. So sometimes if Nicholas feels confident in what he's doing, we don't have to do the lesson the way it actually is, and I don't have to just do all the things. So this was pretty easy. I thought at first it was going to be a little harder. He actually understood it. And one of the things that I really love about homeschooling just in general, when Nicholas went to regular school, one of the things that really frustrated him is that sometimes he would just get stuff and he was very bored because he would finish stuff really fast, and then he would just be there twiddling his thumbs and distracting the other kids as well, because he wanted to talk to his friends, and it would just get him in trouble sometimes. And I love the fact that homeschooling, he can go at his pace, which is a bit of a faster pace than other kids, and it just makes him more productive. He's happy, he's learning at his pace, whether it's a slower or a faster pace. Homeschooling allows you to do that, and I love that about homeschooling. So this lesson in particular, there is a part here that if your child is having a hard time understanding the concept, there is a video lesson that you can go. I'll probably pop it up here. We're not going to watch it. Nicholas gets it. There's going to be a video portion that you can look at and see if your child needs a little bit extra practice. They can do. We don't need to do that. He doesn't need the extra practice. So we're just going to move on into our lesson practice, which is more practice on this.
How do you do it?
Mommy's just doing a lesson. Okay?
My lip.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Are you making blocks?
Yeah.
Okay, make the blocks here for Mommy so I can see.
Hi.
Hi.
Where's my block?
Okay, I'll get you blocks in a second, okay?
Himalayan.
So we're learning about what animals live in India. So this is kind of nice because it incorporates animals, right? It's kind of fun how The Good and the Beautiful does their math. We really like that.
What's this?
So let's see here. What are we going to do?
What's this animal?
Complete each problem, then fill in the circle by each problem that has an even number as the answer. The even numbered answers are now. We're going to find out. So this is fun because we're doing multiplication. We're learning about animals that live in India.
Leopards don't.
Okay, well, let's just, we have to do the multiplication problem. So Nicholas is going to do the multiplication problem.
I'm just gonna guess.
Okay, you can put a little star. Okay. Okay, so we finished off our math. We did the lesson. We did the lesson practice. We did the review and activities. I didn't get Nicholas to do all of it just because some of it is American money. I just don't want it to get confusing for him. So he did 2 parts of the reviews and activities, and it had to do with money. He did a really good job. Good job, Nicholas. And yeah, we finished off the lesson. Today was easier. It probably took us about 25 minutes to complete the lesson, give or take. And that's just because he understood the concept really, really fast. We didn't have to go through all of it. And also because he didn't have to do all the review and activities. Usually it's not like this. This is a very rare occasion, but usually it'll take us about 40 minutes to do math, right? Give or take. Nicholas, let's ask Nicholas.
Quick math.
A quick math lesson, right? Nicholas, what is your favorite thing about the Good and the Beautiful Math?
Like the times tables. I like the game, but we don't do them as often because before we used to do it more.
There was more games. Level 2 had more games. Okay, see? So level 2, I thought the games were the same. Like I thought they were the same. But level 2 has more games, okay? You're hearing it from the homeschooler himself. Level 2 has more games than level 3, right? But when you do have games, like they're kind of fun. Like this is kind of like a little game.
Yeah,
like, you know,
I like this.
Learning about different animals that are in certain countries. So it's kind of like getting math and getting fun facts about, like, you know, different things around the world and putting it all together. And right now we're going to go and research. You're really wanting to know like snow leopards, and we're going to go and research that right now and talk about snow leopards. So I like that it gets conversations going. Now, what's something that you don't like about it?
So,
is there anything that you don't like?
not really. I like it.
You like this math?
Before, I used to get headaches, but that was more before when I was starting the math.
Right. This was a huge jump from level 2 to level 3. Level 2 would take you about 10 minutes. Every single thing. Like it was just like really fast. This takes them a little bit more time. So he said he used to get headaches. But we just do it kind of in parts, right? Sometimes you'll do the review and activities before we do the lesson, just to make it a little bit more, you know, broken down and manageable. And that's the beauty of homeschooling. You don't have to do it all in one. And it's nice that the review and activities you can do before we do the lesson, because it has nothing to do with it, right? Next year, if you do math level 4, like, do you want to switch math curriculums?
No.
Are you sure? You don't do Saxon? Remember we were looking at Saxon?
It's black and white. It looks extreme.
It looks extreme? Yeah, it's not colorful, right? I think he likes the colors. So that's something to think about, because we were looking into different math curriculums and I showed him a sample. And he was like, first he was like excited about it, right? You were like, oh, let's try something new. But then you looked at it and you're like, I want to stick to this, right? Next year, there's going to be video lessons too. Are you excited about that?
Really
so you already know, guys, we most likely will stick with the Good and the Beautiful. Nicholas has been doing good, right? I feel like math has been great, and it's been easy for me. It's been easy for him. He enjoys it. I enjoy it. So I think it's been a very enjoyable experience for both of us, and I feel like he's learning. And I mean, what else could you ask for, right? Like,
I hope in a different level, it has more games.
It has more games? Okay, we'll see. As you get older, there's probably going to be less games, right? Just because you're getting older. But we know what we can do. We should buy some math board games with multiplication. Do you guys have any recommendations when it comes to math board games, like level 3 and up, like grade 3 and up? Let me know down below, because we could invest in some. We had some swap. Yeah. We have some math games for lower levels, but maybe we need a little bit of more math.
Like
games.
level 2, level 1.
I don't like games though. You're gonna have to do that with Daddy. Anyways, so guys, thank you so much for watching. These are our thoughts. You know, showing you how we do a lesson. Hopefully this can help you. When I make these videos, it's not to tell you that this is the best curriculum ever, use the Good and the Beautiful. It's more for you to make an informed decision about, like, is this the right fit for me? Maybe you'll look at this video and you'll be like, no, this is not the right fit for my son. He needs something a little bit more black and white with no stories. But maybe your child needs something like this. These videos are more for kind of like for you to decide if this is a good fit for you. The great thing about the Good and the Beautiful is they offer most of their curriculum as a free PDF. So you can download level 3 as a free PDF, like, and see and test it out, like, you know, and print it out before you actually buy it. I find it super affordable as well. We've been really enjoying it, right? I can't wait.
This is my favorite
curriculum.
Curriculum.
It's your
so
it's,
far.
and it's your favorite subject.
Yeah.
Math is his favorite subject, right? So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching. I think that's all we have to say. I hope that this video was, you know, helpful and beneficial, and I hope it could help you out in your homeschool journey. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Subscribe.
Cats, nicknamed ghosts of the mountains, they live in the world's highest
It's camouflage,
ranges
eh?
and are one of the least understood felines.
Do